Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 5 of my top 30 favorite title tracks of all time. We've been doing it all month long together, counting down our favorite title tracks. The title song of the album of the same name has to be on the same album. And if we have any bands or artists that we have perhaps multiple picks of, do them all in one episode. So in essence, it's not really a top 30. Could be a top 50 or more, right? It depends on how many you cram in, right? But it's fun. The more the merrier, right? It's cool to talk about these awesome title tracks. And today, for pick number 5, I got 5 from one artist. Could even potentially be 6, right? But it's easily 5 for me. And there's others, I'm sure, with this particular band. Everybody has their favorites, right? Because there's other title tracks in the catalog. But I'm going to start off with their album, which was released pretty early on here, right? It's released in March 19th, 1971, recorded at Island and Morgan Studios in London, England, produced by Terry Ellis and Ian Anderson for Chrysalis Records. Gotta go with Aqualung by Jethro Tull, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. It is the song that kicks off this album. That killer riff from Martin Barre. How about that guitar solo, right? Just a memorable song. I mean, pretty much, what do you call Aqualung, right? It's a hard rock song. It's got the little folky elements too. Is this prog rock? Maybe not quite yet, although I think there is a little bit. There's quite a bit, enough prog on this album. Everybody always cites like Thick as a Brick as their big first prog album, but I would argue that there are progressive rock elements on a couple albums leading up to that. It's just not overt prog. It's not like heavy keyboard prog, right? Even though there's a little bit of organ on this record, a little piano, but I just think the arrangements, the intricacies of the music owes a lot to progressive rock. But yeah, Aqualung is just such a classic song. This is like one of those songs that I've heard a million times in my life over the years on radio, me playing it, other people playing it. Never get tired of it. A, it's one of the great riffs of all time. B, it's just a well-constructed song. It's memorable. It's dark. And then that guitar solo, just so good. And it kicks off the album in a great way. This album is so expertly sequenced. Starts with Aqualung, ends with Wind Up. Perfect. Finishes up side 1 with Up to Me. Starts side 2 with My God. And then in between is all this greatness, Cross-Eyed Mary, Mother Goose, Hymn 43, Locomotive Breath. They're all kind of like spread out in just great ways. You get little different feels from one track to the other. Really good pacing on this album. And of course, this is the lineup consisting of Ian Anderson on vocals, acoustic guitar and flute, Martin Barre, electric guitar, Jeffrey Hammond, or sometimes known as Jeffrey Hammond on bass guitar and voices and backing vocals and recorder. In fact, I think half the band plays recorder on this album. John Evan, piano, organ, and mellotron, and Clive Bunker on drums and percussion. So, all right. So from there, after Aqualung, where do we go from here? We're going to go to the title track to a compilation album that was released in 1972. That album is Living in the Past. So this is kind of like an odds and sods. Interestingly enough, a band that only had a small amount of albums up to this time, but already they were accumulating B-sides and stuff recorded but not put on albums and there's all sorts of stuff on Living in the Past. So just imagine being like a new Jethro Tull fan, a band that only has a handful of albums or less out at the time, and all of a sudden you get this compilation of all this shit you never heard before, leftovers. That's been this band forever. They always recorded a ton of material and all of it good. It's not like that song sucks, we're gonna trash that. Right now that song's pretty good, just didn't really make the album, we're gonna keep it on the back burner. So, here, of course, Living in the Past, again, kind of comes up in the weird sequencing, right? So it's the 4th song on the album. Song for Jeffrey leads off the album. I would, I've always thought that Living in the Past should have been the first song on the album. It's a wonderful flute song. It's bright, it's airy, really, really good. Recorded for this compilation, and it's definitely one of their great title tracks. I always loved Living in the Past. It's got this kind of positive feeling. It's flowing, and it's like, yeah. I mean, the melodies are just so great. So good. All right, from there, we're going to fast forward. I'm not going to include Thick as a Brick or Living or a Passion Play. Because again, yeah, it's an album, all one song. We know they're great. We know Thick as a Brick and Passion Play are amazing, but I'm not going to include them today. It's like kind of like a given, right? It's almost like it's cheap because it's all one song. But I'm going to go ahead to an album released September 5th, 1975, recorded at Maison Rouge Mobile Studios in Monte Carlo. Produced by Ian Anderson for Chrysalis Records. Talking about The Minstrel in the Gallery. What a killer song. It is becoming, if it's not, it's number 2 or 3. It's becoming my favorite Jethro Tull song of all time. It's so good. It's so heavy. Man, that barrage from Martin Barr at the beginning of the song. That wonderful, noisy solo, and then kicking into that heavy metal stomping riff. Minstrel in the Gallery is just cranking Tull at their heaviest. So good. Absolutely love it. It's just so majestic and grandiose. And just so good. Martin and I were on Guitar Hack last night at the end of the show. He was talking about some bands that he had never really got into. And based on my recommendation and me always talking so highly about Jethro Tull, he finally decided to sit down and listen to the whole Aqualung album. And for the first time ever, Jethro Tull kind of clicked with him. And I was like, well, Martin, Hack, where you got to go next is you got to go to Minstrel in the Gallery. Because I know what you like, and I think you'll really dig it. He goes, okay, I'm going to listen to that. So I'm like, yeah, Minstrel in the Gallery is so good. Of course, this is the almost the same lineup, very similar. Ian Anderson, Martin Barr, John Evan, Jeffrey Hammond, and of course Barry Barlow on drums and percussion. But you've got Dee Palmer now working. David Palmer at the time. Dee Palmer working with arrangements and conducting and the string quintet and all that, and she would become a full-time member of the band shortly thereafter this. So, and speaking of shortly thereafter this, I'm going to skip ahead. Some of you may love Too Old to Rock and Roll, Too Young to Die. I never was a big fan of that song or that album. But I'm going to go ahead one more album after that to a album released February 11th, 1977, recorded at Morgan Studios in London, England. Once again produced by Ian for Chrysalis Records. I'm talking about Songs from the Wood. Killer track. The beginning of their kind of like folk prog era, folk rock, folk, progressive folk, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's prog, it's folky, it's rockin'. Songs from the Wood kicks off the album in a great way. Let me bring you songs from the wood. So majestic, so wonderful. Dum 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 dum. I remember the first time I saw Jethro Tull live, and that they played Songs from the Wood. I was just sitting there, and I'm like, I never really, I think, understood just how complicated that song really is, and so well constructed and arranged. And seeing them play it live, I was kind of like, this song fucking rules. It's so good, and it's definitely where it needs to be, kicking off the album. So good. I always love the little record player on the tree trunk. Just such a great album. So fun and so full of life, and yeah, great stuff. And then my last pick from Jethro Tull, we're going to go ahead one album, so pretty much a year later, April 10th, 1978. Again, Ian producing for Chrysalis Records, recorded once again at Maison Rouge Studios in London. I'm talking about Heavy Horses. Oddly enough, I don't like where this song is placed on the album. It's not first, because you got And the Mouse Police Never Sleeps. You got Acres Wild and No Lullaby and Moths and Journeyman on side 1. I'd argue maybe Heavy Horses should have been either finishing off side 1 or finishing off the album. It does not, because on side 2 you got Rover, you got One Brown Mouse, then Heavy Horses, then Weathercock. I think Heavy Horses is so emotional and so impactful and so big and epic, and just, it's weighty. It's heavy, but not heavy like in metal heavy. It's like it's just heavy, emotional, and the arrangement. It's majestic. It's just got so much going on. It's just, I absolutely love heavy, and it's heavy with emotion. I think Heavy Horses should have been the album closer, not Weathercock. And it's like 9 minutes long too. It's a big epic, and sometimes they like to close out albums with these kind of like epic compositions. I definitely think Heavy Horses should have been slotting in at the end. It's such a great track. Oh, I love Ian's vocals. Great guitar work. Everything about it is just great. Just awesome. So yeah, so those are my picks for Jethro Tull for today. Heavy Horses, Songs from the Wood, Minstrel in the Gallery, Living in the Past, and Aqualung. You could make, like I said, you can make the case for others for sure. Roots to Branches is really, really good too. I considered popping that in here as well. I really liked one of their later albums, Roots to Branches. But, so many great tracks here. Jethro Tull, an amazing, amazing band. Amazing creator of title tracks. Right? It's been pick number 5 for today. Let us know what you think of these Tull classics down there in the comments below and list your pick for today. And we'll see you tomorrow for number 4. Right? We are finishing off hot and heavy. We've got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to finish this month of title tracks, and then we move on to those random albums we bought in the record store, sight unseen. We saw that album cover, and we were like, oh, that looks good. I know not who this band is or this artist is, but I love that album cover. I think I need to bring this home with me. And then you get home and you're like, that was a good choice. This is really, really good, right? So not the ones you buy kind of blind and you get home like, that kind of sucks. The cover's the worst thing about it. No, we're not doing that. We're doing the ones that really, really meant something, the ones that really we hit the home run with on that blind buy, right? Like I said, it's not really blind. We're kind of peeking through like, oh, that cover's great. I don't know who that is, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to spend my hard-earned cash on this album that I know nothing about, something that most people do not do anymore now because you got a million ways to listen to things before and test things before you buy it. But back then, we didn't have those luxuries, right? It's like you saw albums, maybe if you were lucky, you heard a song on the radio or maybe someone you knew had it, but otherwise you didn't know shit. You just basically saw it. If it looked good, maybe you kind of heard the band name before. Someone told you they were really good, or maybe you didn't know anything. You're like, I don't know who this is, but that album cover rules. I'm taking it. I'm buying it. Kerplunk. There you go. Thanks for watching. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. And don't forget, we got all the links to all the stuff to help out the channel, Ko-Fi page, and merch, and Cameo, subscriptions, membership options, all that kind of stuff. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon here. More stuff coming up in just a little bit. Martin Popoff and myself at the Funhouse. King Crimson's In the Court of the Crimson King. Is it really the first ever prog album? We're going to try and figure that out. Coming up in just a little bit. We got the Professor's Picks later today. We've got From the UK Connection tomorrow. First of 2-part episode on Slade. We've got album homework assignment tomorrow. And we've also got ranking the albums of the Master's Apprentices on Sunday. See you then for all of it. I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.